Welcome to the very first video of Corpse Party Blood Drive. If you do enjoy, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and let's get into it. Okay, Umbrella, thank you so much for sponsoring this series. If you want to sponsor a series yourself, guys, links in the description. Only cost $5, and you get to see the game that you want me to play. Anyway, let's play. Blood Drive Chapter 0, A Faint Light. So guys, that actually happened in Chapter 8 of Book of Shadows, just by the way, which we didn't cover on this channel. So if you want to see that, you'll have to go to watch someone else, maybe. Unfortunately, you have to 100% the game in order to play the whole Chapter 8, which is so dumb. So we're not going to do that. It had been 2 months since the Book of Shadows incident. I've been critically wounded by the blowback from the sorcery I'd involved myself with, but Nakashima was there to carry me out from crumbling Shinozaki estate. The two of us were picked up by the side of the old mountain road and rushed to a hospital, where I was restored to stable condition. The grimoire responsible for much of the horror everyone had been through, the Book of Shadows, was buried in the rubble estate when the roof collapsed. I'm not a big fan of the text here. To be honest, it's pretty hard to read it.
小学校が崩壊し、私たちが現世に戻ってきてから2ヶ月が過ぎた。
Also, guys, if someone is voice acting it, I'm not gonna read it again, even though it might be a language that we don't understand.
いや、これでいいの？おかしいな。都市伝説掲示板の噂では、これをやった直後に地震が起きて、神隠しに遭う危険ありって書いてあったのに。ちょっと、そんなのに付き合わせてたの？ひどい。ごめんごめん。これでみんな離れ離れにならずに済むよ。
What? She's saying this like she's walking away?
幸子を失ったあの空間からは、幸せの幸子さんの効力も消え、迷い込んだ聖者を閉じ込めて残酷に命を奪う呪いの学校を消滅させられたのは良かったけれど、私たちは友達と先生の命とその生きた証、存在までもが奪われてしまった。聖子はいたんだよ。どうしてみんな分かってくれないの？そんな子いないのよ。さあ、薬を飲みなさい。ナオミ、ナオミ、飲みなさい。飲むの。いや、私はおかしくない。おかしくなんかないんだから。
Isn't this crazy? They don't believe her that someone like that existed.
生き残った私たちにとってこの2ヶ月は地獄のような日々だ。誰か助けて！委員長、しっかりして！姉ちゃん、絶対死なせないから！私は軽はずみに手を出したオカルト儀式のせいで出血多量の大怪我をして何週間も入院を余儀なくされてしまった。昨日退院してから初めて登校した如月学園。
校門前で私は校舎を見つめて身をすくめた。この門をくぐれば鈴本さんやゆい先生たちのいない現実をいやおうなく思い知らされるから。
篠崎。
Hey, it's Satoshi. It's in all three games. Like Naomi.
みんな
Ayumi also.
この世界で心の底から分かり合えるのはこの5人だけ。存在の消えた4人のことを共有できるから。
おかえり。退院おめでとう。
Dude, this doesn't look like a horror game, does it? Okay, it's a circular one, okay.
おお、篠崎。やっと出てきたか。
岸沼くん。
おかえり、委員長。
中島さん。
篠崎、おかえり。
ありがとう。
Arigato.
あゆみお姉ちゃん、大丈夫ですか？
Bro, Yuka survived? How? She survived 3 games. How?
ありがとうゆかちゃん。大丈夫よ。
I guess she still has to go pee. Bye, have a great
こ
time.
の時、私はまだ知らなかった。天神症のあった多重閉鎖空間どころではない。現実のこの世界に。
幸せのサーチみんなおまじない好きだよね。またなんか新しいの仕入れなきゃ。ママ、今日は早番だといいな。お腹空いちゃった。ママ。
No one guessed that this is even a horror game, just by the way. What the damn hell? It's a ghost.
拡大しつつあったことに。
The curse is growing. It can't be. Ooh, this sounds like copyright right here. Good song, good song. Thank you for taking my money now.
事件がまた起こりました。死亡した中学生の佐久間
お
凛さんは
かえり。大丈夫だった
背骨が折れた状態で発見されており、
まったく。転んだ拍子に落ちていた刃物でああも大怪我するなんて。一体何をしていたの、あゆみ。日の絵みたいにまた幽霊がどうのとか、オカルトまがいなことをしてるんじゃないでしょうね。ほっといてよ。もう、いつものこととはいえ、日の絵もどこへ行っているのやら。うちの娘たちは、親に心配ばかりかけて。
Literally what all mothers say, right? Kids only give them gray hair.
忌まわしい記憶。
A massive earthquake rippled through the basement of the Shinozaki estate, leaving it teetering in the edge of the collapse. Worse still, the whole place was in flames. Hideo was mangled from appearing, if shimmering in the fire's light, red glinting off of red around the edges of the blades that were rapidly clousing in her flesh. They danced around through her almost whimsically, promoting unnatural gyrations throughout her body without ever letting her so much as touch the ground. I grabbed on Hino's body in vain attempt to pull her to safety, but Hino used what little strength she had left to push me back.
あゆみちゃん、生きるのよ。お姉ちゃんはいつもあなたの心の中にいますよ。
I could distinctly hear those words in the back of my head, spoken in a soft, soothing voice. It was short-lived, however, as the ceiling suddenly became webbed with cracks and fissure, and a massive beam fell from above, crushing her upper body entirely. With this, I shot my feet and began running in circles, screaming uncontrollably. I would have run right into a rapidly spreading fire if Naomi hadn't caught me. My hands and feet were covered in red bruises and cuts from the swarm of blades that my spell had summoned. Naomi was bleeding as well, but nowhere near as badly. So let's go.
失われたみんなの存在を取り戻すため、 篠崎幸子と天神症の呪い、その根源を追う私と中島さんの前に取り壊され、この世に存在しないはずの篠崎義恵と幸子の生家が現れた。その地下にあった古代の本、ブック・オブ・シャドウズで黒魔術を試した私は、
Tried a little black magic of my own.
夢かうつつかもわからない恐ろしい事態に襲われて、瀕死の重傷を負ってしまったのだ。どうしてあの場所が分かったのかは知れないけれど、飛び込んできたお姉ちゃんが私をかばって、結局私は何もできず、ただ犠牲を増やしただけだった。
What the damn hell?
死んじゃえばよかったのに。
What is she stabbing?
みんな私の犠牲者じゃない。私なんか
いいぞ、死ね。死ね。死ね。
Who the heck?
なんだよ、やめるなよ。そのまま死ねよ。
With one shoe on the desk and sporting a rare open-mouth version of a shit-eating grin, a boy wearing a black parka was just somewhere there in my room without explanation.
死んでくやつが俺の名前なんて興味ねえだろ。嘘ばっかだな、お前の反応。それが嘘だろって言ってんだよ。本心はどこだ、クソ女。殺したいんじゃなくて助けたいんだろ。苦しんでるてめえをよ。八つ当たりしてねえで動け、甘ったれ。誰も助けちゃくれねえぞ。
誰よ。何なのよ。何しに来たのよ。
誰でもねえさ。嘘ついたまま本当に終わっちまっちゃつまんねえぞ。
Without a word, he motioned for me to put my hand out and unceremoniously plopped a piece of a 10 yen gum into it. A boy smiled and a cold yet oddly kind expression, then finally took his leave by jumping out of the window. All I could do was stand there and sob.
確か篠崎の家はこっちだったよな。ん？変わった格好のやつだな。
天神症も崩壊し消え去った今、罪滅ぼしに私に何ができるのだろう。
起立。
はい、お疲れ様。
おう、サトシ。お前今日弁当だよな。屋上で食おうぜ。
ああ、そうだな。今日は天気も良さそうだし、行くか。
Kids should not be able to get to the roof of a school.
おお、すごい空だな。雲が全然ない。
秋晴れだな。
この辺で食べよう。しかしなんか妙に軽いな、弁当箱。よしき、今日はなんだ？
時間あったから揚げ物にした。
相変わらず何でも作れるな、お前は。俺んちは昨日の残り物とかだよ、多分。
いいじゃねえかよ、この幸せもんが。
そうなのか
for bread or something. He got money inside his lunchbox.
母さん。
あら、こんなところでご飯なの？今日は晴れてるし、一層美味しく食べられそうね。
確か、庭クオン先生だっけ？
I think. This was our class's TA, Miss Kuon? Niwa, age 24. You understand what I'm saying? She was an English teacher with white hair. Already? Blue eyes and a soft, delicate voice.
クラスメイトの話によると、俺たちが天神小学校から戻ったあの日から、ちょうど半年前にこの学校に赴任してきた先生らしいが、俺たちにその記憶はない。俺たちのいた世界では、ゆい先生という別の先生がその立ち位置だったんだ。
Yeah, Miss Yui. She was also tight.
だからこのクオン先生には悪いけど、天神小学校から生還した俺たちはみんな、この事実に違和感を感じていた。
サトシくん、ご飯がないの？何が食べたい？
I would like to eat you, please.
好きな食べ物は？
カツ丼？なんだろう、あの先生。
からかわれたんだよ。
Doubt it. I guess I'll have to go buy some bread at the cafeteria or something. Okay, but you should probably hurry out. I mean, lunch has already started, so I doubt they'll have the whole lot left at this point. Oh crap, you're right. Okay, wait right here. I'll be back. Hold the run button while moving, as sprinting gradually drains your stamina. If you run out completely, you won't be able to move again for a short time. Your stamina recover whenever you're sprinting. Whenever you are... so be sure to slow down every now and then. Okay. Where's my stamina bar though? I didn't make it.
仕方ねえな。俺のエビフライ一本やるよ。うれ。
What? You can have one of my fried shrimp? Are you serious, bro? Like, that's not even gonna fool me. That's gonna just make me more hungry. My eyes shone upon meeting those of the magnificent golden fried shrimp.
本当か？悪いな。
What the heck?
持田聡様ですね。
俺？はい、そうですけど。
お食事をお持ちいたしました。
A man in black handed over a lacquer box containing pork, cutlet, on rice with egg, picture perfect in every way. It was my favorite meal, down to the last detail. Yoshiki, utterly thumb-founded, loosened his grip of the fried shrimp he was holding. It plummeted to the ground, defeating by this new contender. What the heck, bro? Hey, girl. Purple eyes, I see.
委員長
The classroom glowed with the golden hue of twilight, but my gaze was fixed at the floor. It must have been obvious to Nakashima, but I had a lot on my mind.
大丈夫委員長
She asked this as she sat down on her desk in front of me, facing backward. She was trying to comfort me. But she had dark circles around her eyes too. She and I must have had the look very similar to one another from an outside perspective. My left hand was still wrapped in bandages. It throbbed what? I don't even know how to say that. Incessantly. There we go. Reminding me of the previous night's events. I ignored it as best as I could and forced an empty smile.
もうこれ以上迷惑かけないから。
迷惑ってどういうこと
I couldn't bring myself to answer that. I just flashed another smile, a confusing one that must have looked very strange to her, and left the classroom.
委員長
今出て行ったの篠崎か？
ナオミ、どうしたんだ？
委員長なんだか思い詰めてるみたい。私たちでフォローしてあげた方がいいかも。
お前もだよ、ナオミ。無理していないか？
大丈夫。辛いのは私だけじゃないし、私一人甘えてられないもの。委員長、変な気起こさなきゃいいけど。
As I walked, I thought back on my time in the hospital. I was laying in bed, arms and legs virtually mummified in bandages, when a woman with flowers came in to see
はじ
me.
めまして。あら、そっくりですね、お姉ちゃんと。
あなた。
私は山村未来。あなたのお姉ちゃん、日野江と共にウィッカインスティテュートという精霊崇拝組合に所属しているものです。
お姉ちゃんの？
はい。これはお見舞いです。
As she said this, she placed a bouquet of flowers on the small table by the bed and looked around the room with a curious expression on her face.
ご両親は今いらっしゃらない？
お買い物に行っています。
そう。お父さんもお母さんもまだ知らないのですよね。日野江の死を。彼女が命を落としたあの日、あなたを追って旧篠崎家跡地へ向かう前に、日野江は私に最後の連絡をくれていました。
お姉ちゃんが？
きっと自分の運命を理解して、そして受け入れていたのね。 精霊は人の指揮を教えてくれるの。その分できる精一杯の行動と覚悟が持てる。彼女は立派だったわ。
Tears began pouring from my eyes, and I could do nothing to stop them. I had been sitting up in bed, but unconsciously started to curl into a fetal position as best as I could with the bandages. Yamamura put her hand on my back to comfort me.
あゆみちゃん、日野への意志を伝えるわ。
What might that be?
黒の本、ブック・オブ・シャドウズを取り戻しなさい。代々篠崎家が守り続けてきた門外不出の禁忌の書よ。あの本が心ない者の手に渡れば、この世は混乱の淵に落とされてしまう。私たち WI は精霊と心を通わせる、自然の意志にただ沿おうとする白魔女の組合。ご両親の反対を押し切って篠崎家から飛び出した日野絵は今さら関わるのをためらっていたのだけれど、近年その存在を感じるようになってずっと気にしていたの。私とウィッカの仲間で調べたけれど、篠崎義恵と幸子の屋敷跡地にはなかったわ。更地だったはずのあの場所に焼け焦げた家の梁や瓦礫が現れていて驚いたけれど、あの場所からは消えても感じるの。存在はまだ残っている、この世のどこかに。
Yamamura looked directly into my
この
eyes.
町にあなたや篠崎義恵と同じ篠崎家の血筋の方が住んでいたのは知っているかしら。
Yamamura pulled a notepad from her pocket and carefully wrote a name and address on top of the sheet. She then tore the page and handed it to me. Makina Shinozaki. I knew that name. It was on the family tree.
牧野、覚えている名前だわ。義恵の家の地下室にあった篠崎の家系図。義恵の上に並んでいた彼女の母の妹、おばにあたる人。
その牧名さんの家に行けば何か黒の本を取り戻すための手がかりが残されているかもしれない。私たちは霊に対する感受性が強すぎて部屋に入ることもできなかったわ。何が起こるかわからないけれど、日野絵の意志を継ぐ強さがあるのなら頑張ってみなさい。
And with that, Yamamura simply turned and left the hospital room.
お姉ちゃんの意志。
Ooh. I'm sorry, I need to read somehow. On the other side of the door, a particular girl stood in wait. As soon as Yamamura had covered enough distance to put me out of earshot, the two of them spoke.
ご苦労様。
これでいいのね。
お前らが息をしているだけでこっちは虫唾が走るんだ。殺さないでやるからさっさと消え失せろ。
Yamamura ran away as quickly as as she could without drawing attention to herself. As if in response, the intimidating girl in the particular outfit spat on the hospital wall. She can spat on me, dude.
ったく 世の中アホばっかり。
As she mumbled these words, she sneaked a sidelong glance at me in my room. I was completely oblivious.
篠崎日の絵。簡単に死にやがって。くっそ使えない。
Chill, woman. We have children in the building, you know? It was time to meet my fate. I had no trouble locating Makina's residence. I know now. What? Okay, there we go. I don't know what I was expecting, but what I found was just an ordinary apartment building. I couldn't involve Mashida and the others in this. They'd been through enough already. Besides, this was a family matter. My bloodline was responsible for this whole mess. So it was only right that I be the one to make amends alone.
ここね。下連雀南団地。ずいぶんボロボロ。これは何かの事情で取り壊されないまま放置されているのね。管理されているのかしら。
Wherever you see candle on the map, you can examine it to restore your HP and save your game. In addition of most of the name tags being missing from the mailboxes, the ones that remain encrusted with dirt and decay are only barely legible. Some, in fact, are just plain rotted out entirely, or the slots of them are rusted over. They look like props from a horror movie.
ここには牧野さんの家はないか。別の塔を見てみよう。ここには
Makina's apartment doesn't seem to be in this block. I should look elsewhere.
ここにはこれってやっぱり不法侵入だよね。気が引けるのと不安で落ち着かないや。急に扉が開いて「こら!」って怒鳴られたらびっくりして死んじゃうかも。
You better not drop dead on the spot.
誰か来る。
When a person gets truly startled, she's unable to move due to the combination of fear and, well, being put on the spot. It's like she's been planted on the ground. It may be human nature, but I hated not being in control of my actions. Nonetheless, there I was, a sitting duck, just waiting for someone to come down the stairs. Expect no one did. Its seconds ticked on, but I was pretty definitively there we go, the only one here.
確かに足音がしたのに。
The mailbox was stuffed with vast quantities of tissue paper. The bottom layer of this stack had turned an unpleasant shade of brown. It may have just been from years of settling debris. But if that were the case, it shouldn't have been that dark. I slowly unwrapped the tissue, morbidly curious as what it might find inside. It was only then that I noticed the inside of the mailbox itself, which was stained deep crimson. It looked like a whole lot like blood. I'd unwrapped enough enough by then to see what was inside the tissue paper too. It was a skeleton remains of a bird. On the rusted panel of the mailbox from which I discovered the gruesome find was a name scribbled in permanent marker, Shinazaki. So let's go. What the heck? Did you guys see that? Chill, people.
誰かいるの？気のせいだよね。懐中電灯。
Persistent use of a flashlight will eventually kill its battery. If this happens, you'll need to find a new battery and use it, or you'll be left in the dark. I think I enabled a setting where we have infinite flashlight, by the way. It's a setting in the settings, so I just ticked it. 401, Shinazaki.
トイレ行ってくればよかった。
Don't tell me you want to pee also, man.
我慢しなきゃ。
The door is shut tight. Knock.
すみません。
There's a doorbell on the wall nearby. Pressing it produces clicks. Guess there's no power. Open it. The door is shut tight. Let's open it, dude. I take a deep breath, mentally prepared myself for what I was about to attempt, and grabbed the steel doorknob.
携帯びっくりさせないでよ。こんな時に。誰これ。知らない番号。もしもし。
Musi Musi. She just said good night, good night, good night, good night. Holy, what the? Stuff on my table's just falling over, dude. What the heck? The number disappeared from the screen as if the call had never been placed.
あれ壊れたかな。やだ。もう。
Good night, good night, good night. It's open. So let's go.
すみません。
Hello.
怒りっぽい。人が住まなくなってから何年ぐらい経っているんだろう。お邪魔します。靴脱いだ方がいいかな。 おかえり。
Thank you.
今人の声がそうだ、篠崎よしえの家に行った時の教訓を生かさなくちゃ。今回はちゃんと用意したんだから。お姉ちゃんが研究のために使ってたボイスレコーダー。2008年11月10日午後7時48分、篠崎真希菜の家。捜索開始。
Let's do this.
私は大丈夫。頑張れる。あの学校とあの家をくぐってきた。
Looks like a bathroom door. It's a Japanese-style toilet. Fortunately, despite the condition of the apartment building in general, it seems to be a modern and fully functioning non-septic model without any foul smell.
水は出るのかな。大きな音で水が流れ出しても怖いな。なんでこんなにおしっこしたいんだろう。体調のせい。
Use the toilet?
ダメ、このままじゃ漏れちゃう。
Bro, like, is that really toilets in real life? Do you guys know if there's toilets like this in real life? That you have to squat instead of just, like, sit? Sneaking into the deceased woman's abandoned apartment and using her bathroom. It was kind of absurd, but I almost felt like it was infiltrating the deepest chambers of any enemy base.
緊張して出ないや。
Is it blood? With what sounded like my own relief voice echoing back at me from the walls, I thought I'd finally done my business, but my bladder still felt completely full.
私まだしてないのに。何これ。血。天井から漏れてるわけでもないのに。
As if accompanying the loud bubbling sound, the dull squishy of a blade cutting into flesh was also faintly audible. It immediately brought to mind somebody slitting her wrists.
やだ、無理。
Okay, I guess we're not peeing today, son.
山村さんの話だと、篠崎真希菜はすでに亡くなっているってことだけど、生活用品とか当時のままみたい。篠崎真希菜が亡くなった後、誰もここに入らなかったのかしら。やっぱり怖いよ。
There was a photo hanging from the freezer door. Though blurry and hard to make out, it seemed to be of a forest thick with mist, along with one additional detail that made it much worse.
私は大丈夫。私は大丈夫。ダメ。やっぱり帰りたい。怖いよ。
Bro, it's the worst person to break into your house, I swear.
手がかりって言ったって。 見当もつかないけど、マキナさんの遺品をできるだけ持ち帰ってみよう。
Study kitchen table sat numerous prescription bags and instructions. The name written on every bag was Makina Shinozaki.
やはり篠崎マキナの家で間違いないようね。
Well, that's a clue we want. Items laying about can be obtained by examining them. There may be hidden compartments or spaces in shelves and such as well. So be sure to examine everything very carefully. It was a small white box made of paper. So small, in fact, that it fit in my palm of my hand with room to spare. It was light as a feather too. Open it. Another dead bird?
なんでここにも入ってるの？拾ってあげなきゃ。でも怖い。触れない。ごめんね。ごめんね。
I closed my eyes and put my hands together, saying a little prayer for the poor animal. I then left the box where it lay and got back to my feet. The drawer seemed to contain only insurance documents, as well as an official name stamp.
持っていけないや。遺族の人はいないのかな。他には。あ、写真。
The top photograph on the stack depicted a young woman with a hairstyle decidedly not of the modern era.
この人がマキナさん。
The next photographs showed different women smiling widely. Her clothes were actually quite beautiful, and her eyes looked almost lifelike on the paper, like they could suck you in. I flipped through each of the remaining pictures, seeing mostly just more of the same. Until... Makina, Raki, and Yoshi in Yokohama.
篠崎よしえ。幸子のお母さんだわ。だとすると、この女の子が。
There's something laying on the table. Batteries obtained. Oopsie. I could see myself in the mirror. I look worried. Do you look worried, girl? Goodness. Goodness. In the middle of the room, a twin-sized futon was neatly laid out. Its top cover was convexed, just as it would be if someone were sleeping beneath it. In fact, that's exactly what it looked like, almost unmistakably. And right on top of it sat a perfect cube of a box, about 10 centimeters across all sides and bright red, like Shinoto Tori Gate. Which would have been a lot more interesting if I were still scared out of my mind. The thought that there might have been someone under that cover is the whole, it's this whole time. Let me guess, another dead bird. She's acting like she's seeing a ghost for the first time, dude. Good night, good night. It was a silhouette of a human being, all black, save for two perfectly round cutouts positioned halfway up the head, glinting with an unearthly light. There were no signs of life nor detail anywhere along the shadowy figure, except in those eyes. But those eyes were very much alive. They were undeniably the eyes of a human. As in response of my worst fears, I suddenly caught a slight small girl in black dressed standing in front of me. Hesitantly taking a closer look, it was actually me reflecting in the mirror. But not just me, there was a black shadow behind me, and it was coming closer. Gay. Why are you gay? I panicked and rolled around, and my light immediately went out. I was completely surrounded in darkness, as if whatever I'd seen had fully evolved. Enveloped me. There we go. She's saying yeah, but the game is saying no. I stepped on something soft and squishy. Unconsciously, I paused for a split second, pondering what it may have been. But my de facto conclusion was, I don't care. I need to get the hell out of here. Feeling around along the glass door surface, I finally found there seemed to be a handle. I tried in vain to turn it, only to realize that I couldn't because... I didn't have to ask, though. I could feel it. And see it. My right hand was being collapsed shut by the tiny, ghastly hand of a white-hued child. I shook my arm violently, and the white apparition faded from sight. But my closed right hand still wouldn't open. I had to get out of here. That was paramount. Clenched fist or no, I needed to leave before something worse happened. Panicked, I flung open the glass door. Good night, good night. I fell back, completely sick to my stomach. My heart was pounding so hard and so fast. I was convinced I was going to have a heart attack and die. At the very least, I knew I was about to lose consciousness. What the? As if to confirm just how done for I was, my nose began bleeding profusely. I had no doubt at all anymore. This was the end.
篠崎
Kung Fu kick.
篠崎おいしっかりしろ
Kashinuma moved my worn, what? Limp body onto the tatami flooring and carefully sat me up. I regained consciousness right away, and I was immediately met with the worried gazes of Kishinuma, Mashida, and Nakashima.
無事でよかった。
Nakashima wiped tears from her eyes. I was so relieved, so very relieved to see my friends. I started crying as well.
篠崎なんでお前一人でこんなことしてんだよ
私がやらなきゃいけないことだから。
何
岸沼サトシ
ヨシキに任せよ
私が始まりだから。
始まりって何のだよ
全部私が悪いの。私のせいでみんないなくなって。お姉ちゃんはね。
I guess she's gonna say she's illiterate and can't count. I was sobbing like a baby. My face must have been a mess. And my voice came out hoarse and in short bursts.
悪いって何が
私が幸せの幸子さんなんておまじない持ってきたせいだよ。全部私が悪いんだから。
まさかお前一人で全部の責任を背負い込んでんじゃないだろうな。なあ俺たちは仲間だろ篠崎。
What the heck is that? Sheepishly. What the fuck? What does it even mean? Sheepishly nodded my head. Why not cowardly? Why not dogly? Why not catly? What the heck? Sheepishly. Is that actually the right word, guys? Then looked down. I didn't want to meet his gaze.
頼れよ一人で突っ走んなよ。いいか今ここではっきりさせといてやる。あんなもの絶対にお前のせいなんかじゃねえんだよ。
岸沼くん。
お前は悪くない。だからそんな風に自分を責めんなよ。
岸沼くん。
少なくともここにいるみんなそう思ってるだろう。
ああヨシキの言う通りだ。
そうだよ委員長もう一人で抱え込まないで。
Where's Yuka?
私みんなをもう巻き込みたくないから自分で何とかしなきゃって。
前はよく頑張ったよ。いいから、もっと俺たちを頼れ。
バカってひどい。
いや、だからよ。
ありがとう。
I didn't entirely believe them. It was the fact that this whole mess started when I led everyone in the Sachiko ever after ritual. But I appreciated their words nonetheless.
こうなってしまった以上、残された俺たちはみんなでこの現実を受け止めていくしかないんだ。
受け入れるんじゃなくな。
ああ、少しでも良くしていくためにできることをする。
気持ちはみんな一緒だよ、委員長。
あなたは何もできなかったなんてことはないわよ。
I didn't recognize the voice at all, and was a little perturbed with no one else seemed startled by it. It belonged to a girl I'd never seen before, wearing an unusual outfit.
篠崎あゆみちゃんね。無事でよかったわ。
あなたは。
篠崎、お前がヤバいところに向かってるって、この場所を俺たちに教えてくれたのはこの人なんだ。三輪愛子さんだ。
Finally, a good name to
い
read.
ろいろと調べさせてもらったわ。私は情報や霊能関係に詳しいの。篠崎ひのえさんの妹さんなら、そうね、さえのきなほちゃんの友達といえばわかるかしら。
なほさんの？お姉ちゃんのことも知ってるの？
え？あなたのお姉さんひのえさんはこちらの世界では有名人だったわ。あゆみちゃん、その右手開かないの
My right hand had been collapsed shut the whole time. I almost forgotten about it. I tried to open it again, but still I couldn't.
はい。
あ？見せてみろ。
Kishinuma grabbed my hand and tried to pry my fingers open.
無理に開ける必要はないわ。きっと時期が来たら自然に開く。その時を待ちなさい。あら？これは
She attempted to open the box for just a moment, but her efforts proved to be in vain, just as mine were.
気になる箱ね。これも開かない。なるほどね。
Aiko was memorized by the opening box. She seemed desperate to understand what force kept it sealed, almost giddy at the unspoken prospects of what it could mean.
ものすごい霊力。これはすごいわ。今晩預かっていいかしら。うちに戻れば開けられるかもしれない。
I had the feeling that this was less a request than it was a statement. She would never have taken no for an answer.
まあ、今日はもう遅いから詳しい話は明日させてもらうわね。放課後会いに行くわ。
That night, after I returned home, I stood in front of the mirror and just kept trying to open my right hand. I put every bit of strength and energy I had into it. And then I farted loudly and the second one glimpsed out of my ear hole.
指が開いた。
Nailed it. What I found inside my heretofore closed hand were teeth, human teeth, from the looks of it. Very small baby teeth, 2 of them. The roots of each tooth were embedded deep within my palm, and I was bleeding quite a bit as a result.
してなんで私の手の中に子供の歯が。
To be continued. A faint light is game over. EVP entries of Hinoa's has been unlocked. New Encyclopedia Obscura and entries have been unlocked. W. Sakura Academy. Grimoire, Psycho Ever After. Hiyomi. This is names, bro. And apartments. And apartments and people's names. And more names. Is it credits now being displayed like this, bro? I swear. Would you like to save? Oh, yes. And that's going to be the video for today, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, smash that like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.